Self-defense myth 31. On the ground, we're the same size. No, we're not. If you are shorter, weaker, lighter than the other person, and you go to the ground and you're trained to a significant level on the ground, then you're going to do what you want with them if they are not trained on the ground. If neither of you are trained on how to fight on the ground, and you go to the ground, then it stands to reason that the heavier person is going to have a distinct advantage over you there. So it's misreported that if you hit the ground, you're both the same size, because you're not. I've got a bit of groundwork to my name. If we hit the deck and you don't know what you're doing, you're in a very, very bad position there, because I do know what I'm doing. And if we hit the deck and I'm significantly heavier than you, with the knowledge of what I'm doing on the ground, then you're in a very, very bad place. Now, the reason I bring this up, because as long-term viewers of the channel will know, of the 5 styles that I shamelessly rip off, we've got judo, we've got Greco-Roman wrestling, we've got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm also a big fan of Sambo. Very much grappling orientated, very much ground-based orientated, because we need to know what we're doing should a fight go to the ground. So I'm not trying to deter anyone from doing groundwork. You need to do groundwork. You just need to put it through the filter of, we should be focused more on getting up from underneath somebody rather than trying to submit them. One of the things that really, really, really annoys me is I see people who, I won't say are just out to line their own pockets, but there are people who teach self-defense techniques where they teach smaller, lighter, weaker women, here's a takedown, take the guy down to the ground, then he won't be stronger than you if you're on the ground, he won't be heavier than you if you're on the ground. One of the cases I'm going to point out here is there's a Michael Jackson's former bodyguard, Matt Fidesz. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It might be Fidesz, it might be Fidesz. I think it's Fidesz. He has done a lot of work where he's trained celebrities in self-defense. I believe his background is Taekwondo. If you're a long-time viewer of the channel, you'll know what I think of Taekwondo. He teaches celebrity self-defense techniques. He always usually manages to teach in a park where there just happens to be a photographer. There was a picture, an article I saw, probably gone back a few years now, of everybody's favourite Big Brother celebrity Big Brother contestant, Roxanne Pallet, or Palette, I'm not sure how you pronounce the surname, I apologise for getting it wrong. She's the one who's most famous recently for completely accusing, I think his name was Ryan Thomas, of beating her when he really didn't. Matt Fidesz was teaching Roxanne Pallet self-defense techniques in the park. The pictures looked all very good and nice. And then there was one picture where Roxanne, I think, is about 5'1", 5'2". Matt Fidesz is quite a big bloke, he's about 6'2". She's got both her hands grabbing hold of his wrist, and she's leaning into him with her shoulder, and she's putting her leg behind his leg, which looks like a modified Oso Ogari, which is one of the first and most basic sweeps in judo that you will learn when you start. In Shotokan Karate, I think it translates as how to collapse a folding screen door, or something along those lines. Anyway, it's a very commonly taught trip and throw. It works very, very well. It doesn't take a lifetime to learn. However, if we look at that set of a taller, heavier man attacking a smaller, lighter woman, although you do get women attacked for materialistic reasons, it's safe to assume that most attacks on women are going to be sexually motivated. The numbers change obviously from year to year, but for the most part, it's a safe bet that if a bigger guy is attacking a woman, it's probably going to be sexually motivated, especially if they've got into the range of grappling. If I'm just trying to mug you for your handbag or for your jewelry or for your phone, I don't really need to be trying to grab you and drag you around. It's just going to be straight in, maybe clobber you to knock you down, and then take what I want and be off. So, if we take that this attack is sexually motivated, I put it to you that if you don't know what you're doing on the ground, it would be stupid of you to try to willingly take someone down who is bigger, stronger, and heavier than you when they want you on the ground. Again, if you're into your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or your Judo, it's probably not going to be that much of a problem, but not everybody does train these things, and not everyone trains them significantly to a point where it's going to be instinctive to sweep and get the guy off you. Again, if you just train these things as a pure sport, when the adrenaline hits of, oh Christ, this is a real fight, people go blank. Then the minds will just go over there somewhere, which is why we have the aggression line up in what we do. So if you take that as soon as we're on the ground, we're both even, no, you're not. Unless you train on the ground, you don't want to go there because you don't know what you're doing. It would be the same as going, well, you know, I've seen a couple of old Western fights. I'd quite like to get in there with Tyson Fury. Because we're both going to be punching, so we're going to be even, aren't we? We're going to be even. Well, no, you're not, because he knows what he's doing because he's a world champion and he's been doing it for a while. It's the exact same deal on the ground. You can't just think, oh, well, we're both on the ground, so now we're even. If somebody is heavier than you and stronger than you and has better technique on the ground than you definitely don't want to go to the ground with them. This is just on a one-on-one basis as well. I'm not even taking into account the fact that the other person might have a weapon, they might have friends. So we don't really want to be going to the ground, and we shouldn't really be teaching takedowns in terms of I'm latching onto you and bringing you down with me. Our takedowns are always you grab them by the back of the neck or the hood or whatever. After you've clobbered them, you drag them face first, then you're away. To teach somebody who is as small and as light as Roxanne Palette, to be teaching her a takedown of any kind is ridiculous. Now, I'm not having a go at Matt Fidesz here. I'm not saying that what he teaches in his clubs is incorrect. I would know. He probably doesn't really know because they're franchised and there's so many of them that it's impossible to keep a tab of what everybody is teaching. What I will say is there was one club that I saw who, at the very top of the page, there was the banner with the collage of pictures, and there was a guy performing what I think was supposed to be an armbar. The guy who was performing on, the elbow was like halfway towards his knee, which gives you no control whatsoever on the ground of the guy. I'm just saying, as somebody who is quite experienced with grappling, you can see the mistakes people make in grappling, and you think that would never work in a million years. You haven't pressure tested this. To take techniques that have not been pressure tested and to teach them to people who are quite well known and to say this is exactly what you should be doing, I think is foolhardy, and I think it's actually irresponsible. However, I don't know. If anybody out there watching this has trained in a Matt Fidesz school or has trained with him, please do feel free to let me know if I'm wrong. The point of this clip again was, unless you train on the ground, you're not going to want to go to the ground because you're not going to be better than somebody just because you're now both on the ground. If you, even someone who doesn't train on the ground, let's say, keeping with Tyson Fury, let's say you try to go for a takedown on Tyson Fury and God forbid he ended up mounted on you, so you're on your back, he sat over your chest. Can you imagine how much trouble you're going to be in if he just starts raining down blows into your face? And you're responsible for that because you tried to take him to the ground. Insanity. So don't do that. Get yourself into a judo club, into a Brazilian jiu-jitsu club, into a amateur wrestling club, into a sambo club, if you've got them in your area, and just see how different it probably is from what you think it will be. You'll very, very quickly, as soon as you put yourself into classes that are real, you very, very quickly realise, I actually don't know what the hell's going on here. This is, oh God, no, this is a mistake. And then just remember that you're doing it in a safe environment with people who are there to help you. So if that was to happen, in a street scenario, you'd probably be dead. So again, just to recap, we don't want to go to the ground under any circumstances whatsoever. If we do end up on the ground, it shouldn't be our choice to go to the ground, and all of our ground techniques should be based on getting ourselves back up to our feet so we can run away as quickly as possible. Any comments, queries, or suggestions, let me know in the comment box. If there's anything you'd like me to review or to talk about, let me know in the comment box. Please like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, train hard, train smart, stay safe.